Good evening. My name is Dr. Chelsea Graham, and I'm here to testify to support House Bill 7340. 2 days ago, I just returned from Minnesota, where I spent a month training in abortion care. I was moved to do this work during residency because I think it's actually life-saving. As a primary care provider, I don't often hear phrases like, "You saved my life," and "You're my hero." In this past month, I heard it more than I can remember. To put this into perspective, we took care of one young Hmong woman, as in Minnesota there's a big Hmong population, and she had escaped her house that morning in flee of domestic violence. She had to lie to come to see us. She'd been planning to have this termination for days, but she could not leave her house because of her abusive husband. After the procedure, she cried and hugged us repeatedly. She said, "I didn't want to do this, but I knew it was the right thing," and she'd been thinking about it for a while. She said, "I didn't want anyone else to have to suffer with me." She could barely open her mouth to talk from an injury she sustained, and she had bruises all over her legs. This woman came to us in her most vulnerable state, and yet was using her voice and her bodily autonomy to make the right decision for herself and her future. Before she left, we hugged again, and I told her that we supported her decision and admired her strength. This is just one story of many. And as a primary care provider, I plan to stay local and take care of women and their families. And I ask that by supporting this bill, the state will not interfere with terminations of pregnancy prior to fetal viability. And just a couple other things. There are some things that were said incorrectly, like one, that there's an increased risk of breast cancer. The data show that there is no increased risk of breast cancer with terminations. And secondly, short interval pregnancy, that other woman was sharing an anecdote, and short interval pregnancy is actually quite risky, and having a termination is 12 times safer than giving birth. So just to give those facts. And lastly, in rebuttal, doctors are not always right. We're not. And we admit it when we're wrong, but I do think that we are right when we listen to women.